Hey guys, Krootman here, and as always, a perfectly curated video schedule gets thrown for a loop because of random dumb news. Today, rumblings have leaked that Green United LLC, which I've never heard of before, failed to persuade a federal court to toss an SEC civil fraud suit on the grounds that their cryptocurrency mining box or hardware isn't a security. And basically, the federal government is saying it's a security. So I'm going to give you my very, very uneducated and probably biased opinion since I'm a crypto miner. So before you keep going on this video, remember that I am not an expert. Two, I am just a random dude that put a camera on my face and a mic to my mouth, and I'm just talking about it. And three, this is going to be entirely opinion based with what I hope is are arguments against this and what I think how this will affect the market going forward in terms of mining hardware. And again, this one is purposely not sponsored or anything. This is just my opinion, and I'm going to share it with you. So if you're interested, keep going. Please make sure you hit that like and sub button, as it will help my channel. All right, so this is from Bloomberg Law, which is basically probably the most credible site I could find on the topic. According to this article, which I'll link down below, crypto mining, quote unquote, boxes are securities, the court says in an SEC case. Like I already said before, this company Green United LLC failed to persuade a federal court judge to toss an SEC civil fraud suit against it on grounds that its crypto mining box or hardware customers didn't enter into a securities transaction with it. Wow. So I don't really know much about this case. Essentially, what it looks like is their currency called Green had no realizable value as it was not trading in a securities market, the SEC says. And I guess some people got mad that they bought it. They sued them, and Green lost, which could send shockwaves across the industry, I think. All right, so there is a lot to unpack here. So let's start with the obvious. And again, feel free to skip over this part if you already know this. But first of all, what is a security according to the United States government? Well, a quick Google search is basically a security is a financial asset that can be traded and can include a wide range of investments. And their, stocks are securities, bonds and banknotes are securities. Crypto is a security according to the SEC, as they're pushing to make it a security. So essentially, a security is basically super duper layman's, again, I'm not an educated source on this terms, is just a financial asset that can be traded. So like, for example, a stock is a security, which means they are regulated by the government, which basically means that if you're saying that this crypto mining box is a security, does that mean all of these boxes, asics, etc., are securities? What does that even mean? And first of all, A, what does that even mean? And B, how would the government even go about enforcing this? Like, does that mean that if I buy an asic from any of these companies, right, and it becomes a brick in like 3 months, can I file a lawsuit against that? Like, how would that even work? Does that theoretically mean that even the tiniest little bitaxe lottery miner would be an ASIC or a security? I don't know what this means. I don't know how the ASIC manufacturers are going to be affected by this, or if they even care, as most of them are not based in the US. How you could sue an entity in China, just kind of like any ASIC company that has, like, if you tear off their label, then the warranty's void. You're never going to be able to enforce that. They could just deny it. They could just deny it because you voided what their terms were. Whereas if they were based in the US, we all know that's a load of crap. And you can open up a GPU and a company can't deny the RMA based on those grounds, as you will win in court. Which also brings up another question. Are graphics cards securities? I mean, theoretically, based on the definition of this case, it's a mining device, but it's not primarily used just for mining. Does that make it a security? Or even the CMP cards? Are these GPUs, the CMP cards, are they gonna be securities because they can theoretically only be used for mining? Like, how in the world is that gonna work? I personally didn't even think twice about this when I read this. As I was reading this article, I'm like, this is dumb. And then I realized that this is going to send people either into a panic or people are going to have an opinion on it. And I figured I should just share mine. I personally don't think that this is going to matter too much. I think the only thing that this would affect is like, say if you were a company working in the US and you released a miner that could only do one thing, like maybe like a D-pin miner, right? I don't even know what D-pin miner, maybe like an HNT miner that could only mine HNT. But then they could theoretically say that the HNT miner does other things like provide a service and you're just getting paid in that coin. So I don't know. Does DPIN fall under that too? I would think so. But I would think that unless you're A, based in the USA, B, based in a country that the USA can get to, or C, you have offices or anything in the US, then maybe you have to worry. But if you don't fall under any of those categories, does it really matter? I strongly don't think that they're going to be able to make the case that GPUs are securities because they do other things. Even mining GPUs, you're going to struggle saying they're securities because they can mine anything and they can theoretically, but not really, be used for AI workloads. I'm using AI in parentheses because I could say that this bracelet in my hand is powered. Well, you can't even see it because it's green. I could say that this remote in my hand is powered by AI, right? I don't know how it's going to affect anything in the US, really, like minus the examples I just gave. I think GPUs are going to be fine. I think that it almost makes GPU mining more appealing in a weird way because you don't have to worry about owning hardware that's securities. Like, what if I sell one of my used ASICs? Does that mean I'm selling a security, even though it's a product? Like, if I wanted to sell, like, what does that do to the used ASIC market in the US? Like, if I wanted to sell, I don't know, you pick a miner from a company. Does that mean I'm selling a security? This is a can of worms that I have no idea how this is going to be dealt with. I would go on and read a lot about this article. I just don't know. I don't know what the SEC is going to do here. And I would think that common sense says that they can't be a security. Like, how are you going to regulate the sale of ASICs? Are you going to have to sell them on a securities market now? Are you going to be subject to SEC guidelines for selling an ASIC? And like I said, I don't think they can even touch this on GPUs. Like, how are you going to say that GPUs are a security? They're used for other things besides crypto mining. Even the mining GPUs, I don't even think they could say are securities. So that's it for this video. I just think that for now, I personally wouldn't panic. Would it make me question dealing with ASICs? I don't know, actually. I'm going to be honest with you. I totally don't know. It's funny. Today I was going to release a video about a video that I partnered with a company on an ASIC. And I didn't because of this. And I'll be releasing it soon. But it's just funny, like, how does that change things for people that live in the US? Again, I think it's way too early. And, I mean, I think this thing has got to work its way through the appeals court. So, I mean, how long is that going to take? And ironically, these things in here are all computers. They're not even real ASICs. So we'll see. So anyway, thank you for watching this totally uneducated, opinion-based video. Let me know what you think down in the comments down below. Yeah, I think this will be an interesting debate, and I will be very curious how it plans out. But again, I think for now, it's just business as usual until this makes its way through the appeals court and we get a ruling on something like this, because you got to think that a lot of hardware companies are going to be watching this closely, especially if they have businesses or offices in the USA. But hey, I mean, I've seen crazier things happen. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more GPU, CPU, and crypto news content, apparently, because that's what we're covering today. Krootman is out.